I just want to like vegetate. Fucking do my thing. We're done with this. We're done. Relax. What is that? Where the fuck did this motherfucker come from? Oh.
Hey, hey, so what's the news, Miss Muse?
Oh God, it's
Miss Muse.
fucking
Well, does a muse have a proper form of address? I just want to hear what exciting adventures you've been having. Everything else okay, though? Do we know who the killer is yet?
Not just yet, no.
Okay, well, let me know if there's anything I can do. If I have to hustle to become your high priestess, well, so be it.
What are Kaz and Brian up to? You didn't tell them anything, did you?
No, I told them you came home, that you're okay, but that you're having a moment. They send their love.
Should we tell them, do you think?
What for? They have their own problems. Plus, Brian can't keep a secret to save his life, and Kaz is officially homeless.
Is he still crashing on Brian's couch?
Grace, you do know that Brian doesn't have a couch, right? Just some giant beanbag things?
Then where is Kaz Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cute. They'll tell us when they're ready. But right now, it's best just to not mix them up in this.
I should really apologize about the band. This kind of puts a dent in your plans, doesn't it?
You're right, Grace. How dare you sabotage my dreams? I am so mad I could spit.
You know what I mean. Nobody could have seen this coming, sure, but it's always been something with me.
Well, as I see it, there are two ways this goes down. One, neither of us gets back to the band. It was just a thing we did for a while before I founded a cult in your name. Or two, we get back to it and the band now has the Muse as its lead singer. Edge of Elysium becomes the coolest and most appropriate band name ever.
Ugh, I still really hate that name.
Look, Grace, you can't be the source of all the drama and name the band, okay? That's the rule.
Exactly how much do you know about the Greek gods, Freddie?
I know my Greek mythology, but what I've read clearly doesn't line up with who they are today. Or who they ever were, maybe.
Still might be useful. There's gotta be some truth to those stories, right?
Maybe? Who do you want to hear about?
Do you know anything about the Muses? Or Calliope in particular?
Yeah, for starters, there were supposed to be 9, though I guess there are some sources that said there were only 4, maybe 3. Each of the muses had her specialty. Did you know that Calliope is supposed to be the muse of epic poetry? She inspired the Odyssey.
Wow, I don't even like poetry.
Yeah, it was said her singing voice was unmatched. So they got that part right, at least.
Did she also lead the ancient Greeks in giant choreographed dance numbers?
No, but she once turned a bunch of snobby princesses into magpies, so there's that.
What about Athena? Is she really supposed to be the goddess of wisdom?
Sure, but mostly that's meant as tactical knowledge. Athena wasn't all sweetness and light. She was a warrior goddess. She was also the goddess of heroes. There are loads of stories where Athena helps guys like Odysseus or Jason or Perseus.
No female heroes back in those days?
Yeah, guess not. Women were the weaker sex, which maybe is why Athena was portrayed as being vindictive. She cursed Medusa, one of her own priestesses. She turned people into spiders, struck them blind, started the Trojan War. It's the whole thing.
Not being as wise as advertised is on brand for her, then. Just how many of these gods are there? From what I've heard, lots of idols live around here.
Well, there are tons of minor gods in Greek mythology, hundreds even, depending on how you define them. Oddly, there's never any mention of the word idols in relation to them. Maybe it's like how people worshipped idols?
I sort of assumed it was related to the eidolon.
Which is a Greek word, but I think it means ghost. An image of someone after they die.
Makes sense.
Me, I'm more amazed at all the big names missing. Not just Zeus and Hades, most of the Olympians seem to be gone.
Hades.
Makes you think about what's been lost. But also, what might still be out there.
What about Apollo?
Okay, so the prophecy stuff checks out. Apollo was god of the sun and light, but also kind of enlightenment in general. He's always talked about as this beautiful and cultured god involved with the arts and the muses, kind of a Renaissance man before the Renaissance.
He's clearly had a rough time since those days.
Well, he was also a giant horn dog, Grace. I can list off like a dozen men and women Apollo has had as lovers, and there's probably more.
Weren't they all like that, though?
I mean, Apollo's no Zeus. He never assaulted anyone as a swan. And no, they aren't all like that. Our sun god had a reputation.
Tell me what you know about Persephone.
Honestly, she's the least like her stories. Usually, she's either a victim or just the wife of Hades, or both.
And that's it? She was kidnapped by Hades, end of story?
Pretty much. Her mother was so angry, she created winter. But otherwise, Persephone was just your average sweet and virginal fertility goddess.
You're right, that doesn't sound like her at all.
Must be hard to be defined by this one thing that happened to you thousands of years ago. I'd be pissed if everyone thought my story ended there.
Well, she is pretty pissed. That much is true. You said Pan was some kind of lust god, right?
Yeah, kind of. Pan's a god of the wild, and I guess that translates into sort of lustfulness and earthiness, humping nymphs in the forest sort of thing.
And you don't like him.
Honestly, he's exactly what I'd expect him to be. All the stories say he's a lech and a beast. The Christians equated him with the devil. Weirdly, he's also the only god who's supposed to have died, though it's never really clear how or why. Anyhow, there's a great statue depicting Pan having sex with a goat. Next time you see him, you gotta ask him about it.
You think there might be other gods out there?
Well, there are all those gods the idols say wandered off. We don't know they're dead for sure, right? They could be living it up in Australia. Who would know? Then there are all the other mythologies, hundreds of cultures, each with their own pantheon. So what's so special about the Greeks? That only their gods are real, right? All those other pantheons could be living in secrecy, just like the idols. And that means they're hidden from each other, too. Oh, they could be everywhere and no one would know.
It's like a whole other secret side to the world.
Yeah, it's cool, right? I hope I get to meet Ganesha one day. Or maybe Lakshmi? Oh.
Or jangles. They're gonna, like, fucking tell me what I'm supposed to be doing? How am I just supposed to fucking find out when I show up? It's really fucking annoying.
I wonder how much of those stories are true.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm giving you the quick version.
Jesus
There are
Christ,
reams
he's
of
still
textbooks out there
fucking
covering
talking
all
about it.
this, but even they rarely agree with each other.
Really? Nothing definitive?
Ancient Greece was 3,000 years ago, Grace. Not much information survived all that time, if it was even valid to begin with.
You know what I find weird? That the idols have managed to remain completely secret all these years. Sure, they have magic and whatnot, but in all this time, nobody's found them out? Athena is that good?
Who says nobody has found them out? The way I see it, it's like UFOs.
Okay, I have to hear this.
Okay, so you could have real evidence that UFOs exist and that governments have covered it up and people still wouldn't believe it. Why? Because they'd get laughed at if they admitted it. Imagine the headline, Greek gods exist and are living among us. What website would even run that?
Weird conspiracy ones. Yeah, you're right. Okay, that's enough questions for now.
You sure? I can talk all day. You know I can.
I'll check back with you soon, Freddy. Time for more mystery
See it on
solving.
this dude's face. He desperately wants to fucking leave, but he will not stop fucking talking. Oh my god. Yeah, let's go tell Persephone that I have to go to Aphrodite party and with Medusa.
Back from your visit to the reliquary?
How did you know I was there?
Athena was ranting about it when I left her. She's none too pleased about you breaking the rules. Let's hope what you learned was worth it. Medusa was at the reliquary that night. You don't intend to confront her directly, do you?
Bro. Just leave. Just fucking. Shows me I would have taken my little fucking clipboard and just ran across it and be like, oh, it's already gonna go by. Jesus Christ.
You think I shouldn't? How else will I find out why she was there?
There's always a way, Grace. Asking someone directly isn't the only method. Still, while I hate to say it, confronting Medusa may be your best option.
You could come with me when I talk to her.
Trust me, if I'm anywhere within a mile, she'll have vanished by the time you so much as knock on her door. Just lie to me and say you'll be careful. Now then, unless you've something else to ask.
Tell me more about Calliope. You and her were good friends, right?
We were.
And?
And if you had told me a decade ago that I would become close to one of the muses, I would have laughed in your face. I always considered them Apollo's creatures. Calliope, Clio, and Talia. Vapid, frivolous gods who handed off their eidolon to any artist who took their fancy. Every time I met one of them, they were someone else. Apollo called them the Sisters of Beauty, no matter their gender. Can you imagine that? That's such a stupid name.
I never thought of that. Do idols change gender a lot?
Well, we tend to seek out successors like ourselves, but it happens. With the Muses, it happened frequently. Everywhere Apollo went, they surrounded him like a gaggle of ducklings, just like him to gather his own fans.
I'd like to know a little more about the idols. I am one now, right?
What constitutes a little more in this instance?
Well, what are we? Where did we come from? If an idol is a soul that moves from person to person, it must have started somewhere, right?
Ah, the big question. To which the answer is, nobody knows. I remember the original Persephone only vaguely. Indeed, I'm not even certain she was the original. Was there something before her? How did she get her idol on? I couldn't tell you. Evidently, we wrote little down in those early days, or were forbidden to, and our memories only stretch back so far. Anything beyond that simply isn't.
Psst. Isn't it strange to not know where you come from? For all you know, the idols could be aliens.
Aliens? Grace, you watch too many movies.
Gods are okay, but aliens are just wacky fiction.
Fine, yes. It is strange. No, our earliest days aren't the only blanks in our memories, however. We have many. And the last was the day Zeus called us all together to tell us Rome had fallen and we should prepare for war. But did that war occur? I couldn't tell you. The last thing I remember after Rome was 1,000 years later, in the 16th century. I was in a different body, feeling as if no time at all had passed. Athena calls that period the gap. And that's what it feels like. All of us experienced it, and not one of us knows why or how.
The gap you mentioned. What was that like? Did you just wake up one day, or...?
I wasn't asleep. I lived. I had lives. I passed on my eidolon. I may have known who I was and what I was, but perhaps I was completely unaware. All I know is that one day, Athena came to my nunnery, near Trieste, I think. The moment that I saw her, all the old memories came flooding back. My life during the gap was wiped away in an instant, and it never returned. If someone did that to us, they were powerful indeed.
What about Athena? I mean, she's the one who found you, right? She must have been aware.
Athena woke up on her own, or so she claims, and spent the next century rounding up those idols who remained. Zeus, however, was gone. What became of him, what happened in Rome, we've never pieced it together. It's troubling.
If you disliked the Muses so much, how did you end up becoming friends with Calliope?
She sought me out. She'd become more and more unhappy on Olympus, so she decided to leave just as I had, long before. Calliope asked for my help, and I laughed in her face. Go ask one of your sycophant mortals, I told her. I mean, surely one of them has some threadbare couch you can sleep on.
Wow.
Typically, she was undeterred. She didn't just want a place to stay. She said she wanted to learn how to be truly independent from an idol who had mastered it. What can I say? I mean, I am a sucker for a well-timed compliment. I took her in. Apollo was furious. He and Calliope were barely speaking, but he was certain she'd come crawling back to Olympus. Oh, it made taking her in all the sweeter.
After you took Calliope in, that's when you became friends?
Well, no, not right away. I wasn't looking for a friend. What I was looking for was an opening act in the club. Calliope entertained here for years, and then eventually turned from performing to attracting new acts. She was in her element. She and I, we warmed up to each other eventually. She was more capable than I expected, and I adored her furious rants.
Calliope didn't seem like the furious type when I met her. That's hard to picture.
Oh, then you didn't really meet her. She was an idealist, and nobody could ever quite live up to her standards for very long. Her brothers and sisters, least of all. The idols needed to change, she said. They were withering away in the shadows, diminished and unwilling to save their own skins. When I joined the chorus, she expected me to change everything, as if I could single-handedly override Athena. I was to be her champion, and together we would bring revolution to the idols. Well, I was yet another disappointment. She left the club, but I gave her a place to live. We were supposed to stay in touch, but you know how it went from there.
Are you willing to talk about Hades? If you don't want to, that's fine. I'm just...
Incredibly curious how I ended up murdering my husband.
Yes.
that, yeah.
You know, one might think that my hatred of Hades began when he kidnapped me and forced me to be his bride. But honestly, that wasn't it. I hated my brothers and sisters for letting it happen, but Hades himself terrified me. He had a presence. I mean, one that forever made him the most important man in the room. And me? Oh, I was nothing in comparison. When Hades began doting on me, trying to earn my favor, I swooned that he might deign to think of me that way. For centuries, I actually thought I was in love, that the kidnapping was the best thing that ever happened to me. It's funny how our perspectives change.
If you got along with Hades for so long, what changed?
I did. I grew up. I was a trophy for Hades, a conquest that he expected to remain meek and unchanging forever. He went out of his way to keep me small. I slowly realized that, he'd always been that way. Manipulation and arrogance behind the handsome sneer. We battled for centuries. I hated him, and I told him so, but he refused to part with me. He declared that I was his and would stay in the underworld where I belonged.
And that's when you killed him?
That's when I killed him, yes. The first time one idol had ever murdered another. Thank you very much.
I'm guessing the other idols weren't thrilled with you killing Hades.
Well, yeah, they didn't know what to do with me. And Athena was furious that the most powerful remaining idol had been lost. See, this was before the war and before all the new rules. The chorus had never once contemplated execution, but they certainly considered it then. In the end, they decided it was better to humiliate me. They ensured I did not benefit from Hades' murder, and stripped the throne I had wrested from his grasp.
Which you weren't happy about.
I asked them where they were all those years while I pleaded for help. I was held captive, and what was I expected to do? What, lie down and take it forever because Hades was more useful to them alive? No. I stopped doing what was expected of me the day I slit his throat. May he rot in Tartarus with the Titans for all eternity.
How did you go from ruling the underworld to opening a nightclub named after it?
I won it in a bet with Dionysus, god of merriment.
Okay, there has to be a story there.
Well, the story is that he was a fool, but a charming one with many patrons. They built him a nightclub as his personal playground. And it was a grand old time for Dionysus in the 1970s, I assure you, but he didn't know how to run a business. By the time disco was ready to die, so was his stupid club. So I offered to make it profitable. If I succeeded, he would turn ownership over to me. He accepted because, frankly, all he wanted to do was drink anyhow. I was successful. The club became mine, and I kicked Dionysus out for never paying his tab.
Sucks to be him.
Dionysus ever sobers up, he might decide to be sore about it, but so far, that hasn't happened.
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around.
Oh, yes, that's where I'll be. Around.
I'm avoiding Aphrodite's party because every time it made me cry.
This must be the Viper's Nest. Scariest part of town, no sign. Just that one dude glaring at everyone. Well, I'm here now. Just another day in the life of an idol.
Oh, there you are. Man, this place is the worst. I think someone peed on me.
Freddy? What are you doing here?
What, you thought I wouldn't notice you skulking off? You didn't even bring any equipment, Grace.
Freddy, I left you behind for a reason. Don't you realize how dangerous this could be?
Do you not realize how dangerous this could be?
Yeah, but I'm an idol. You're...
Very enthusiastic. There are worse qualities in a mortal, I assure you.
Oh, it's you.
It is me. How exciting, no?
Pan, what are you doing here?
I'm the one who told you about this place. You didn't expect my curiosity to get the better of me?
Why are you really here, Pan? The truth this time.
I need to have some dastardly ulterior motive other than to be of assistance. For shame, Grace.
You just don't get it, do you? The act is wearing real thin.
It's true. I am a bad man, and I spoke poorly.
And? That's it?
I'd hope even you, Freddy, could see that advice from an idol might be useful here.
I suppose.
Medusa is the one who turns people into stone just by looking at them, right?
People, yes. Idols, not so much. Or that's my assumption. I'll admit to not knowing if she's ever turned her gaze on one of us.
Great. Is there any way to make someone not a statue, if it turns out she can?
Short of Medusa dying? No. Not unless she wishes it.
Asterion said Medusa works for Athena. Is that right?
A truer description, I'd say, is that she's more Athena's servant. Poor thing can't survive on her own. So she's become whatever Athena needs. Spy master, enforcer, provider of garden statuary.
That doesn't sound fair.
It isn't. But keep in mind, Medusa is no helpless maiden. She is as clever as she is dangerous. And Athena knows it.
Medusa's clever and works for Athena, but what's she really like?
She doesn't exactly come to the parties, Grace. Medusa is an enigma to most of us. If idols hide in the shadows, she lurks in even darker places. She's an outsider, and she loathes us as much as she needs us.
Is she dangerous?
Let's just say we're all rather relieved she stays away.
If you have any advice, Pan, I'm all ears.
Well, I assume you know how Medusa became what she is.
She used to be human, right? And then Athena cursed her. Pretty unfairly, too.
Now, however, Athena hasn't the power to undo her own curse. or so she claims.
That's gotta suck.
Medusa isn't happy about it, no. Yet she survives because she must. As do we all.
Okay, enough talking. Time to do this.
See, that's the spirit. Now there's simply the matter of getting you in before she's aware you're here.
You're gonna help her do that?
Why not? You're more apt to become a statue than to be any true help, my dear.
Knock it off, both of you. I have a plan for getting inside.
A word of advice before we proceed. Once you find Medusa, make the number a knockout. My good man, I'm wondering if you could help us with a little problem. You see,
That's your plan? You're just gonna walk up to him and ask? He doesn't care what our problem is.
If you could both
little does he know that you're my biggest problem. It's been snipe, snipe, snipe ever since I arrived.
Oh, and I guess you'd rather I
Nicely
left, huh?
done.
That would be convenient,
I'll just
wouldn't
keep
it?
them busy
I'm not
while
going
I look
anywhere,
around.
goat man.
What a long day, hiding in the light. Such a long day, dreaming of tonight. This sacred bite. Hello, who's that there? You've messed up my flow. Just get your drink, girl, and take your seat. Oh, it's the muse. There are sacred bites, and then there's this sacred bite. So wrong, so right. I'm really gonna hate myself tonight.
Right, let's play. I'm sure you can bite, okay. But you get a fight today. You're fighting Grace this time. And this time's mine. This time.
For
is mine.
centuries, these heroes got sent to me. Each one of them bent to me.
Not meant to be this time.
This time and all time.
This time's mine.
This time's mine. This time just
This
like
time.
every time.
He's mine.
Now look into me. Your body goes freely every time as it tenders, turning gently as it renders. What'd you say, Grace? You okay, Grace? Where's the game face this time? You are currently experiencing something I like to call the preparation. Any questions or comments? That's right, it is widely known that I can turn folks to stone. But oh, I won't this time. Cause this time I find dine that oozy musy bloods my wine this time. Look into me. Oh, she's looking away. Hey, look
You flipped that hood.
me.
Then out came the snakes. Oh, you're so good. Finally, some steaks. Oh, the ice thing. What a difference. would sound out Athena about your naughty night snacks. Me and Athena need to touch base. I'll say what I've seen.
I'm getting quite keen to chew off that face. Now look into.
Oh, snakes alive! I've killed a few times, you see. I murdered Calliope. Say, would you like to be the murdery this time?
This time is fine.
Yes, then fine.
I just said fine. You're
This
trying to buy
time.
time. You're lost, little girl. No more Hail Marys. We both know the meal is you. The killer's me.
You don't know, you don't know.
I do know that you didn't.
Kill Calliope. So you know that it's true that I didn't do it.
No.
Yes, you do know, you know. Does that mean Athena knows?
No. Fine grace.
To tell her I'm what? Bait? Not the feature show. Come on, try. But let's go. Gonna suffer.
No. Not the bloody charms.
You think you can turn me to stone before I burn your snakes off? I'm betting you can't.
The lighter was my idea.
Be careful, you two. This one has teeth.
Yeah, I noticed.
Rather excessive appetites, even by my standards.
You ready to talk?
Oh, fine. Fine. What exactly is it that you want, pretty muse?
You were at the reliquary the night Calliope was murdered. I want to know why.
Blast! This is why I didn't tell Lady Athena. I knew it would come back to haunt me. I only followed pretty Calliope to the reliquary. I never spoke to her, never even caught up to her. I swear it.
That's what Asterion told us, more or less.
But you were there that night.
Yes, yes, I admit it. Ugh, Lady Athena will have my head. She'll mount it on a pike. Whatever you might think of me, I had no part in the Muse's death. I did not even know she'd been attacked until I saw her fleeing.
You haven't told Athena any of this?
Do I need to light things up again? 'Cause I'll do it.
I told her Calliope was at the reliquary that night. I did not tell her I was also there.
Why not? Wouldn't Athena find out from Hecate anyway?
I was not thinking clearly. I panicked. Lady Athena barely tolerates my presence as it is. If she thought I was involved in any way, if she even suspected...
Why should we believe you? You did just try to eat me, remember?
I am telling you the truth.
Right, and not at all trying to cover your own ass.
You presented an opportunity. Oh, to taste the sweet, sweet blood of a hero once again. It's a problem. I've been working on it, I really have. I know it's hard to believe what a monster tells you, but it is true.
You followed Calliope to the reliquary. Why were you shadowing her at all?
I am Lady Athena's spy master, yes. Calliope has been trouble from time to time.
So you were spying on her?
I keep watch over every idol who no longer lives in Olympus, but especially Calliope. When I realized she was headed to the reliquary that eve, I followed. I had a duty to Athena.
Did you ever find out why Calliope went there?
I was never close enough to ask. When I drew near to the reliquary, that is when I saw the muse fleeing. She was frightened, bloodied, dying.
A tasty snack for you to hunt down.
I gave chase, yes, but to discover the truth. I knew Lady Athena would wish to know.
That does make sense from your perspective.
I didn't learn the truth until later. And then it was far too late.
Astarion said he caught up with you out in the fog. Is that right?
I thought he was the one who had attacked her. He is a great beast of a creature.
Oh, that seems rather unlikely. The bull's as gentle as a lamb.
Yeah, pretty much that.
Yes, I only realized my mistake once I caught up to him, and by then the muse was gone.
And you never found her afterwards?
I thought she might flee to her pretty home, or to the sharp and prickly Persephone. She did neither.
Yeah, she came to see me. Okay, let's say we believe you. For the moment.
Whatever you do, pretty muse, I beg you. Do not tell Athena of my indiscretion. Show mercy. I know what I am horrifies you. It horrifies me as well. I cannot help what I am. I did not ask to be cursed like this.
Indiscretion, huh? That's quite the word for it.
I cannot apologize for my hunger. I can only apologize that I am so very weak in the face of it.
I'll think about it.
I am a lost and cursed thing. No idol. If Lady Athena should learn the truth, I hope you find what you seek, pretty muse. And that we meet again someday. And sing a different song.
Freddy, may I just say what a delight your resourcefulness has proven.
And you're not completely awful, I guess. Pondering the big question, Grace. Do we actually believe her?
She gave us the same story as the Minotaur, but something's still not right. I don't buy it.
How do we catch her in the lie, though?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Okay, so that was fun. Grace, I'll meet you back at home.
I trust that little adventure was useful to you, Grace?
Fine. I just can't stay mad at you, can I?
Nobody can. It's one of my best attributes.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Since you are safe and uneaten, I shall leave you to your adventures. Until we meet again, dear Grace.
Oh, I
Fancy
have a feeling
party?
I'm not
Check.
feeling
Bunch
ready
of
to
strangers?
watch
Check.
this.
Grace totally not dressed for the occasion? Check. Now, if only I knew what I was supposed to be doing here.
Grace? You're here.
Yeah, I'm invited, aren't I?
I'm just surprised you even knew it was happening.
Persephone said I should come to this. Whatever this is.
Persephone didn't tell you? Why am I not surprised?
Persephone said Aphrodite could help me and that she'd be grateful I came. That's it.
Persephone's not wrong, but that's not the entire story. You don't have any of Calliope's memories, right? No deja vu recollections that aren't your own?
No. Should I have?
Not right away. For a while, you won't remember anything. We call it the veil. In time, the veil will start to lift, slowly at first, but eventually you'll remember almost everything Calliope did.
That doesn't seem so terrible. Am I missing something?
Well, remember how old we all are. There are so many memories, so the veil lifts gradually to protect you. Eventually, it's like a flood. It becomes difficult to separate what's you and what's them, and all who came before them.
I have a hard time believing I'll forget who I am.
You won't stop being you. You'll just also be everyone else who isn't you.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
I understand. Take some time to let it sink in. If you like, we can talk about it later.
What does this have to do with the party?
Aphrodite hasn't been the same since we came to the New World. She has horrific memories of what she endured during the war. Passing on her eidolon is a way to forget, for a while. That's what this party is for.
She doesn't have any other options? Therapy, pills, social media?
If you think she hasn't tried all those things, perhaps you could ask her about them.
It just seems extreme, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is. It is, however, an extreme situation. For idols, our memories can become a prison. This is how Aphrodite chooses to escape.
This isn't the first time Aphrodite's done this. She's held this kind of gathering before, right?
This is her fourth, I think, perhaps fifth.
So every time the veil, whatever you call it, when it starts to lift...
Aphrodite's memories return, and eventually it is too much. We gather to pay our respects and to honor the past. Well, she still remembers it.
Wait. Persephone said Calliope always refused to come to these parties.
She refused on principle. Everything Calliope did was on principle. She believed Aphrodite was indulging her sadness, wallowing in it. She thought Aphrodite should try harder. It was a point of contention between them. Aphrodite will be grateful you're here. Trust me.
Do you support what Aphrodite is doing here?
It's not my choice to make, Grace.
Yeah, but you must have an opinion.
Eventually you will remember what we experienced during the war, and eventually you will remember that what Aphrodite experienced was far worse. If this is the mercy she requires, I will not tell her she should not take it.
I don't know, Apollo. I don't like the whole idea.
You want her help, don't you?
Yes, but...
At least speak with Aphrodite before you make a final decision. She's not here just yet. Until she arrives, I suggest mingling.
Mingling.
Yeah, mingling. Talk to Eros. Or we can talk more if you like. Just try to relax, Grace.
Sure, yeah. Relax. That's what this party is for, right?
Grace!
Hey, Eros. Nice to... Oh. Okay.
Aphrodite will be so happy you're here. It means so much you have no idea.
Are you okay? You seem a bit...
Every time she does this, I don't know how to handle it. I almost want to run upstairs and demand she stop. Remind her that this never works. Sorry, I shouldn't unload on you. It's been a bad week.
No, it's okay. It sounds like a bad situation.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't know much about it, would you? I take care of Aphrodite. Ever since we came to the New World, I'm with her. Every single day. I'm there for the nightmares, the panic attacks, the days she doesn't even remember the war's over. And now I'm arranging her gathering again, so she can die again. And I'll watch it all again.
Is there no other way? Does Aphrodite really need to...
To die? I've asked that so many times. She's tried magic, drugs, psychotherapy, meditation, everything we could possibly think of. For a while, she'll deny anything's wrong. It all seems fine, and I start to hope. Maybe this time will be different. Then the nightmares begin, and the memories return. More with each passing day until... I hate it, but I see her agony. I can't deny her this.
Is it okay if I ask what happened? I don't mean to pry, but I'm new. I really don't know.
I know, but it happened to Aphrodite, not me. It's not my story to tell.
That's fair. It's really not my business.
No, it is. I mean, it's not, but she does want you here. So you need to know. What happened is that Brother Ares happened. He missed out on the first world-spanning war, you see, so he was damned if he'd miss out on the next one. He found some jackbooted mortals, so full of themselves and their supremacy, and he told them about the idols. Then they came for us. Took us completely by surprise. Some they killed, but Aphrodite, her they captured.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Aphrodite was captured, but she's here now. So she must have escaped.
She didn't. Do you know the name Hephaestus?
No. Should I?
God of smiths. He could make anything, any tool or weapon. He was Aphrodite's husband, and he adored her. When he found out the mortals were torturing her, he went mad. He was determined to save her.
Wait, they tortured her?
Nothing extreme, I'm told. They were too frightened, but they were also determined to wring every last secret out of her. So, who knows how long that fear would have lasted. Thus, Hephaestus made a deal.
With the, jackbooted guys.
No, with their enemies. That's what saved her.
Then this deal is how Aphrodite survived.
It's how we all survived. It's what brought us to the New World. Hephaestus saved us all. We never saw him again. That was the deal. He would leave, make their precious weapons, and never look back. Aphrodite never even got to say goodbye. It's funny, Because Aphrodite didn't even like Hephaestus when they were married. She seemed to resent every minute they were together. But now he's all she can think about.
You sound like you don't approve of what Aphrodite's doing.
What I want is for her to not hurt anymore. What I want is for this to end. She'll ask you to use your power as part of the celebration. Could you use it to inspire her?
I can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to, Eros.
That's not what I'm asking. I believe that deep down, she doesn't want to do this any longer. She must see it isn't working. She just needs the strength to try. Or I hope that's all she needs.
I'll try, if you think it'll do some good.
I don't know if it will. I just find it hard to believe it could get any worse.
Famous last words.
Tell me about it. Do whatever you think is right, Grace. And thank you.
I know all these people, Grace. For as long as I can remember, I've known them. Yet sometimes I feel like I don't know any of them at all. Or they me.
You don't enjoy these family gatherings, do you?
Are they family gatherings? Like the sort mortals have?
You call each other sister and brother and mother.
Well, yes, but...
And you've been together like 100 times longer than I lived with my family. All you're missing is a drunk uncle everyone has to apologize for.
That would be Pan. But yes, I feel very much out of place.
Why is that exactly? Wouldn't you feel more like you belonged after 1,000 years together?
Is your assumption that all those centuries bring great wisdom?
Don't they?
We get older. We have more to forget. We hold grudges longer, but wiser. No. Not so far.
I spoke to Eros. He's pretty broken up over all this.
Oh, poor Eros. Each new successor, his hopes rise up once more. And then he watches the new Aphrodite crumble. Piece by piece. Only to start all over again. It's so different from the olden days. Once he was the eternal disaster, and Aphrodite kept constant vigil over him.
Maybe he feels like he owes her.
I think he's followed her into a dark void, and somewhere, deep down, believes he deserves no better.
I should get back out there.
My family. Having you all here, gathered once again to see me off, it moves me. More than I can say. My loves, my darlings, my dearest friends. And you. Oh, my dear sweet thing. I dare not hope that you, with all your troubles, might sing me to my sleep. Yet here you are. Yet here she is. Huh.
It's lovely to meet you, Aphrodite. Properly, this time.
Ah, yes. Poor Calliope. Such a loss to us all. I shall miss her dearly. To have come so far, only... No, it doesn't bear thinking about. It's too much.
Is this Grace, my lady? The new muse?
Oh, what manners I have. Grace, Grace, meet the lovely mortal woman who shall tonight become the new me.
Hi, my name's Venus, and yes, it really is Venus. Nice to meet you, Grace.
Yeah, hi. Nice to meet you.
We'll both be new at this, huh? Maybe we could get together and compare notes if you,
Survived my trial?
Yeah, Lady Aphrodite told me. I shouldn't have brought that up. I'm sorry.
There will be so much time for you lovelies to speak later. Now, we must prepare for my departure.
Are you sure we can't talk first? I really need your help, Aphrodite.
I know you do, my dear. I wish I could be there for you, but I'm afraid my time is up. But since you've shown such kindness in coming, I will ask Eros to make himself available to you afterwards. There's nothing I know that he does not. He is my son, my truest friend, my longest love.
Won't he be... a little distracted?
Eros has been through this before, Grace. He knows what must be done.
I have to admit, it's not clear what my part in all this is supposed to be.
How could it be? You've barely just arrived, darling girl. How did you even find out about it?
That would be Persephone's doing.
Apollo! Oh, you've come after all.
You look remarkably well, cousin.
I've had a great deal of time to prepare. I assure you that would not be the case. As for you, Grace, have you gathered the true purpose of tonight's gathering?
To ease your suffering? To forget about what happened?
An escape into the soothing blackness. To swim in Lethean waters, at least for a time.
Does it help?
I don't know. Each Aphrodite before me begged for mercy. This is all I can do for all of us. Even so, tonight is not about the pain. It is about honoring the memory of what was while that memory still persists. Go, enjoy the gathering, Grace. Tell me when you're ready to begin.
I want to apologize again, Grace. I really messed up. It looks like I'll be doing that a lot. Lady Aphrodite said I'm ready, but I don't know.
Having second thoughts? If so, now's probably the time to mention it.
I would never do that to Lady Aphrodite. I'm just nervous.
That's understandable.
If I can ask, what does it feel like after it happens? Do you feel different?
Not really. I still felt like me, if that's what you're asking.
You didn't remember anything? About her? Who she was? She was just gone?
Yeah. Isn't that the point of all this?
I just wanted to be sure. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it could be real.
Your name's really Venus, huh?
Everybody asks me that. Even the other idols. Maybe that's why Lady Aphrodite noticed me in the first place. She says it was fated to be. I say it's because my mama was a diehard hippie.
How do you know Aphrodite exactly?
So I was working at this homeless shelter, right? A couple of years ago, and she came in with one of the older residents. And she was there in this, like, amazing dress. And she's sitting with this guy and really listening to him. Like, they were old friends or something. I just thought,
what is someone like her doing in a place like this? So, I just went over and introduced myself.
That's it? Just like that.
Yeah. She came back to the shelter a few times, but by then, I guess she'd taken an interest in me instead.
Are you really okay with all this? You know what's gonna happen, right?
I saw a lot of people in crisis at the shelter. I knew something was wrong with Lady Aphrodite. She's in so much pain, Grace. She won't let you see how much. Eros called me one night desperate. She wouldn't stop screaming. She didn't know where she was. She's a good person, Grace. A good soul. She deserves mercy.
But don't you feel this is wrong? I mean, you're ending your life. It's like some kind of murder-suicide pact.
I don't think of it like that. Lady Aphrodite is not committing suicide, and I'm not being murdered.
Aren't you? Your life is ending. It's being taken over, swallowed up by Aphrodite's grief.
I'm becoming part of something bigger. Something amazing. Or maybe you're right. It'll be terrible, and I'll end up in so much pain I'll regret it.
So why go through with it?
Because Lady Aphrodite needs me. Maybe, just maybe, if I'm added into the mix of all the people she's been, maybe things will be different.
Back again.
I don't think I'll have a chance to talk to Aphrodite. Not before, you know.
Not surprising. Surely Persephone must have realized that.
How? She's never been to one of these things. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'd do now.
You have two choices, Grace. Either you do as she asks and sing her to her rest,
At which point Venus won't have Aphrodite's memories yet.
or you somehow convince her to remain with us and hope she's grateful.
And doesn't regret it. Or get angry at me for ruining her party.
Do what you feel is right. It's a risk either way.
Have you spoken with Venus? She seems really...
Nice, earnest, a genuinely good person.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's not an accident. Ever since the war, Aphrodite has sought out the kindest, the most innocent souls to be her successors. She chooses them because she believes that over time, it might make her a better person. A more worthy person.
Wouldn't it be better if she chose people who were, I don't know, more resilient?
I suppose that depends on your definition of strength, Grace.
I should get back out there.
Alright. Time to fucking cry.
I have tried so hard, fought for so long, but in the end, I must bid you all farewell once again. But before I go, I would like us all to remember the sacrifices that brought us here to this strange new world. This time, it is with the help of our lovely muse that we shall be guided. We let them rise. We let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. Since the beginning we were hidden. We held court from up above. 'Twas the golden age of reason, and I the queen of love. But a plague of hate was spreading, and there were vultures standing by. Before we fell to our knees begging, we fell from the sky. We let them rise, we let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong, we were wrong. Our so-called brother Ares sold his soul forevermore. He so loved the military, he became their dog of war. He denounced his loving family, and with mortal guns and greed, on a plate gladly delivered everything that war dogs need. He betrayed us and we let him, and with their mortal souls long gone, we thought we were untouchable. We were wrong, we were wrong. I can feel we have the vigor of an idol coming in. Be wary as they find you to entail your limb from limb, torture you and spit at you, parade you in a square. I thought my life was over, and a God answered my prayer. The man that I ignored saved me when I fell. Yes, the husband I abhorred rescued me from hell. I thought it was a joke when it was said to me. He struck a deal with our enemy's enemy, made a secret weapon so my captors let me go. He gave up his freedom, leaving just a memory, and this love I'll never know is what he gave to me.
Stick with it, fuck.
I gotta say that I'm amazed I held my tongue for so long. Not such a fan of this old plan, but who's to say that you're wrong? Now shoulda gotta erase a memory when there's no chance of changing history. This guy that sacrificed his life so you can live in his place. Wish he'd drop by, cause man, I'd die to see the look on his face. You try to hide from your reality, but then come back with regularity. And if you notice a disparity, then what's the meaning of his legacy? Everybody. Who gives a damn about your suffering? Everybody. Who wants to see you be yourself again? Everybody. Who feels your pain in case you're wondering? Everybody. You got the time, but it's the stuttering. Everybody wants to see you fall in love. Your face, so let me give you a hand. An idol should embrace the things they don't understand, and you don't get it. My mind's a falling city, buildings crumbling down. What is more, the pity, all I hear is the sound. Bombs blanketing the ground, a screaming so profound, and you want to play around. Well, you offend. Everybody is insulted by your acrimony. Everybody wants to wallow in my testimony. Everybody. So who is ready for the ceremony? Everybody. I'll be siding with the everybody. Everybody wants to see you fall in love.
I never thought you'd let it get this way. I've stood by watching what we've built decay. We're just pretending that the ending is near. Mother, isn't it clear? Your family's here. Everybody can see the agony you're going through. Everybody knows the goddess is inside of you. Everybody keeps repeating what they're meant to do. Everybody, I've got to stop it just to prove to you.
door. Everybody! 'Cause I'm not gonna do this anymore. Everybody wants to see you, wants to see you fall in love again.
Is it a good thing? Did I do a good? Or did I fuck up?
Mother, is it true? You've chosen to.
Live. I have chosen to live. I'm so sorry, Venus. I made you so many promises, dearest, and I won't be able to keep them.
My lady, all I ever wanted was for you to be happy. If this is your wish, I'll be with you at every step.
I as well. Always.
I hope none of us regret this choice in the days to come. But thank you.
Fucking fingers crossed.
It has to be better than doing the same thing over and over.
Does it? It could also be far worse.
Don't talk like that, Mother. We can fight this.
I'm so very tired, my loves, but I will. I'll try. Now then, Grace. You needed my help. No doubt regarding Calliope's death. Have you any suspicions as to who might be responsible?
Calliope was at the reliquary when she was attacked, but I only know of 3 people who were there.
And you're sure none of them are responsible, Grace?
I thought maybe Medusa, but I've spoken to her and I think it's someone else.
Calliope came to see us that night. She was agitated, frightened even, but she wouldn't explain why.
She said she had a plan. That must have been the reliquary.
She was frightened, so she knew this was gonna happen. It wasn't a surprise.
It was clear she was involved in something. I just thought it was one of her schemes.
If only we'd known she intended to go to the reliquary. How on earth did she even get in?
She used the key, the one Pan gave her. When Calliope arrived, she dropped it. Then she laughed and said she'd better not lose it because Pan won't give me another key to the reliquary. I didn't know it was important.
Well, there's your help, Grace. I can't give you any better.
Come now, Mother. It's time you rested. It's been a long night.
If I don't, I suppose you'll both gang up on me again. Very well.
So, did they have anything helpful?
I gave him every opportunity to tell me. He said he didn't know what happened to Calliope.
Just because he gave her the key doesn't necessarily make that a lie.
Doesn't it? I thought you suspected him. What side are you on?
I'm not on any side. I'm just trying to be objective. Are you all right, Grace? You seem troubled.
I'm worried. I don't feel like I'm any closer to the truth.
Aren't you? Even after learning about Pan?
I can't help feeling I'm on the wrong track somehow. Maybe it's just nerves.
So, I have a question. I know you're angry with Pan, but I also noticed something in how you speak of him. Am I correct in believing there's something there?
After what I just learned, I'm not sure it matters anymore.
It's none of my business, but no matter what I've said of Pan, his feelings run deep.
Oh.
Don't underestimate him, but also don't write him off. Not yet, anyhow. Give my regards to Persephone when you see her.
Apollo. Always so dramatic. And well done, by the way. You may be the very first person ever to talk sense into Aphrodite.
I still don't know if I did the right thing.
Well, it was never up to you, Grace. The choice has always been Aphrodite's. Look at it this way. At least she has a chance now. And whether she uses it, we'll see. I remember the last time I passed on my Eidolon. 1952. I was married to, well, I'd say you'd call him a gangster. More of a thug. A mean, vicious little thug. Persephone saved me from him. Tore his head clean off. But not before he fired a shotgun into her chest. My chest? Whatever.
Oh, well, that sounds awful.
It was. Though not as awful as being his wife. We all have our sordid history, our personal horrors, building up like sediment around our souls. You can't let it bury you, Grace. You are the only one who can keep your head afloat.
You're incredible. You know that?
There's no need to be facetious, Grace.
No, really.
And what of Pan? Is he also incredible?
Why would you ask me that?
You are not as difficult to read as you believe, Grace.
What he is incredibly frustrating and nothing at all like you.
I am incredible. It's true. It's good that you recognize this.
Okay, I take it back.
Oh, you can't take it back, Grace. I would have thought you'd learned that by now.
Oh!
After centuries of cruel injustice, everybody working against me, every idol but for one, violent with apathy. We couldn't reach a resolution, but you and I, I'm queen of the underworld, and you, Grace, something seems familiar about you. Have we met some lifetime ago?
I thought that was entirely the point.
Gods like me don't have too much to hope for. The rules been fixed throughout the ages. So I have forged a daring path. I would like to make some changes. You see, we can win a revolution, you and I. I'm queen of the underworld, and you, Grace, you are a queen, you're old, you're dominion, and in my opinion, you're on the right track. It sounds like they hurt you, defied or usurped you. It's time that you kick 'em right back. overstayed your welcome.
Oh.
Time to go home. Get out of here, Grace.
What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? I can't talk home.
Oh, hi, Grace. I can just call you Grace, right?
That's my name. Where's Freddie?
She went out to get snacks. We were gonna watch TV while we waited, but, well, here you are.
What, you and Freddie are friends now? When did this happen?
When I came looking for you. Friday has this movie that I've never seen. Super cool, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, would you rather not share your mortal friends? Anyway, I guess Athena wants to talk? I can zip us over to Olympus anytime, if you're free.
Do I have a choice about seeing Athena? I'm not in the habit of being at anyone's beck and call.
I mean, I guess you could say no, but I wouldn't. If Athena wants something, she's gonna get it eventually. She had that look in her eyes, like she really wants to talk to you.
She could always come here. Everyone else does.
Athena entered the mortal world? And now she doesn't do that ever. Can you imagine?
How does Athena manage never entering the mortal world?
She doesn't have to, I guess. Everyone brings her everything she needs. And that creepy owl of hers? Apollo says it's her eyes out in the world. It's everywhere. Watching.
So what, she just never leaves the building?
She'll go to the reliquary and places like that. Just never where mortals are. She wears a toga and calls cars iron horses.
So this is what you do? Ferry people around?
I'm the god of messengers, baby. Travelers, doorways, any kind of transition, really. The old Hermes said that the transition part made even more sense for me, which, you know, extra cool, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I can connect any two doorways anywhere, just like that. So it's super easy to take people wherever. I don't mind.
You say it's easy, but do you like doing all these errands?
Huh. Yeah, I never thought about it. It's nice to have a purpose. Athena is super sweet, and she has a big, important job. Why wouldn't I want to help her out?
You can't be this nice. Are you for real?
Oh, well, the old Hermes used to say that a willingness to serve is more important than a willingness to be served.
You mentioned the old Hermes a lot. You knew him?
Yeah, I was homeless for a while. It wasn't a great time, and he took me in. Everyone's on the same journey, he used to say. Only the roads are different. And then he went on his journey. Man, I still miss him every day.
Wait, isn't he still inside you? Aren't you kind of the same person now?
Not yet. It's only been a year. Maybe I'll feel him again one day. That'd be nice.
I suppose there's no point in putting it off. Do your thing. Take me to Olympus.
Okay. Oh, when you see Freddie, tell her I'm sorry I couldn't stick around for the movie. And mind if I say something?
Sure.
You've changed. I mean, from the person I met when I first came here. When, you know, you got it together really quick.
Thanks, I guess.
But I can't do the same one.
There you are, Grace. Do have a seat.
I prefer to stand, thanks.
As you like. You've certainly been busy, haven't you? Everywhere I turn, there you are. Including the reliquary.
Oh.
I'm uncertain how you got access, but even you must have realized it's off limits. Particularly for your mortal friend.
Am I not supposed to be proving my innocence? Would you prefer I did nothing?
I'd prefer you didn't break any other rules in the meantime.
Such as? Do you have a list I can read, or do you just make them up as you go?
You think our judgment was rash? It was. In truth, I worried that giving you time, letting us all get to know you, would make it harder in the end. I am sorry, Grace. You may not believe it, but I care deeply. I care about what happens to you and to all the idols.
Like you care about Medusa? She lives like that because you cursed her. Have you even tried to undo it? I'm betting not, because she's useful like this, and that's where your caring ends.
Zeus was the first to leave. King of the gods. And we don't even know what became of him. Vanished into the ether. Poseidon was next. Walked out into the seas, never to be heard from again. Ares betrayed us. Hephaestus saved us. Hades was murdered. And by one of our own. The list goes on.
So you add to it. I show up and you kill me off because you can't be too careful.
We are dying, Grace. I don't mean diminishing or drifting apart. I mean, our immortality is disappearing. Very soon now, the idols will be no more. We are a legacy that spans millennia, dating back to the very dawn of humankind. So yes, I care. I will do anything and everything in my power to avoid that fate, even if it appears unfair.
That's it? That's what you have to say? Sorry we're gonna kill you, but things are dire. Things are tough all over, Athena. Do you really think clamping down on your rules will make it better?
Those rules are our last line of defense against chaos, dear. I know we've put a great deal on your shoulders, Grace. I do. All I called you here to ask is that you please not make my job more difficult than it already is. If you have any other questions or concerns, now's the time to bring them up.
Who has access to the reliquary? Is it anyone with a key, or...
Does it matter? You gained access, so clearly it is not difficult to get. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'll tell me who gave you that key.
Gave it to me? Athena, I had that key all along.
You what?
It's just like you thought. I used it to attack Calliope that night. Then I brought her back home to finish her off. A mortal with a plan, baby. Stole my way into godhood. Watch me roar.
That's not funny, Grace.
What's funny is that you thought I'd tell you without getting anything in return. Speaking of the reliquary, you went there, right? Once Hecate told you what happened?
Yeah, I was not impressed by the delay.
If you had known about that, the night Calliope died, would it have made a difference?
The chances are exceedingly small that you attacked her there, it's true. Yet, Calliope was weakened, which made her more vulnerable prey for an enterprising mortal, one she knew. Perhaps the incidents are connected, perhaps not. I cannot afford the risk of uncertainty, Grace. I'm sorry.
All right, let's talk about Medusa.
Again, if you wish. What of her?
Was I right? That you haven't even tried to undo the curse that you inflicted on her?
I wish I could remove the curse. I'm afraid the Athena who bestowed it is long gone. She was prideful, that Athena. As prideful as she was powerful, I'm ashamed to say.
The current Athena is responsible for everything she's done.
I am well aware, Grace. What is it that you would have me do exactly?
How about you stop treating her like a servant? Maybe send her somewhere she won't be tempted all the time.
Oh, well, if you happen to hear of a diet camp for man-eating monsters, by all means, do let me know. Now, if there isn't anything else...
I guess I'll get back to my investigation.
I am rooting for you, Grace. If there's another way to resolve this, any way at all, I will take it.
Will you? Really?
Good luck. Feel free to take a cookie on your way out.
Don't take it personally, Grace. Athena's first instinct is to follow the rules whenever things get rough. As if she believes that if the idols don't blindly follow every rule to the letter, we'll dissolve into utter chaos.
Well, is she right?
Probably.
Do you think she's telling the truth about the idols dying out?
I'm not sure. I mean, if it is true, why hasn't she told the rest of the chorus?
It sounds like she doesn't trust you.
Well, the feeling is mutual. At any rate, I'm afraid we're going to have to disappoint her again.
Uh-oh, what now?
You need to go back to the reliquary, Grace.
Let me guess. To figure out why Calliope went there in the first place.
Exactly.
It's the only piece of the puzzle we're missing. Calliope went there because she had a plan. But what plan?
If she left clues behind, wouldn't Hecate have found them already?
That's a really good question.
We can't ask Calliope what her plan was. But you might be able to remember what she was doing there.
Her memories? But I thought...
That it will take years, yes. But if you go somewhere important to Calliope, or touch something special to her, you'll get flashes, feelings.
Do you want Grace to go to the reliquary so she can have deja vu?
I'm willing to wager the place Calliope met her fate has left its mark in Grace's psyche. We have only to uncover it.
Last time Freddie and I were there, Hecate wouldn't let us into the reliquary. Not without Athena's permission.
I'm certainly not suggesting we ask Athena for permission.
Then you mean...
A week ago, I would have said breaking into the reliquary was impossible. Yet it appears Hecate can be surprised. If her book says she will be.
Let's hope the book says that again, I guess.
Unless you've some other plan. I'm all ears, as they say.
What about the alarms? I'm not eager to have Asterion chasing me through the fog.
Calliope snuck in without setting off any alarms.
At least at first.
Well, I'll be following in Calliope's footsteps, won't I? What if I follow the wrong footstep and set them off?
Then they discover you and we apologize profusely.
Will not be a good look, though, just saying.
Are you sure about this? You want me to wander around hoping something comes to me?
I do know something about how memories work after the transition, but no, I'm not certain. You want certainty? Wait until your trial. Without discovering more, the outcome of that is certain.
What if Medusa is lying? What about Pan? We could look into him some more, couldn't we?
Oh, my, you're just full of ideas, aren't you? Do you have any suggestions regarding how we might go about doing that?
Deja vu it is.
Let's say I do this. What am I hoping to find?
Some memory of who attacked Calliope, or why she was there. Anything we could work with. I've spoken to almost all the idols, and every single one says they hadn't seen or heard from her. If she was keeping to herself, then why now? What started this? We're missing something important, Grace.
What if Grace goes there and the memory she sees is that she attacked Calliope? A Grace from the future. It'd be a twist.
Right then. Back to the reliquary it is.
Any idea how you want to do this, Grace? Because I'm game to help.
Cool. I'm sure we can figure something out.
I can't go in with you. Hecate would sense me right away. I will, however, stay close by. If anything happens, I'll come. Hecate won't stop me. The Minotaur won't stop me. Nothing will.
That's great to know, but I'll try not to make it necessary.
Ugh, can we just get on with this already?
So that is now. Oh, you were expecting us?
It is written that you would come, yes.
That is so cool. I kid you not.
Yet it was also written that you would sneak into the reliquary as Calliope did, so this encounter is unanticipated.
What the fuck?
This book of yours really isn't as accurate as you make it out to be.
The course it lays out is almost always correct. The smaller things, they are subject to free will and frequently change. However, even without the book, I do understand why you've come. Is there a reason why you believe my answer will be different now?
Asterion said you don't know why Calliope was here, or what she did.
That is correct.
Don't you want to? Aren't you the least bit curious?
You could say it's your duty to find out, at least so it doesn't happen again, right?
That is an argument not entirely without merit.
Then think of me as a helper. Just like Asterion, I'm part of the reliquary team.
That would be most unorthodox, and possibly outside of my role as the Tower Administrator.
Possibly, but not necessarily.
You will regret this. That is also written.
That is a yes.
Go quickly. Look, but do not touch. The reliquary stores many artifacts, some dangerous.
Got it. Okay, Grace. What the heck do you do now? Of all the times to not have Freddy around, she'd love this. First things first, how do I do this? Where do I even start? Calliope must have been here. She could have stood in this very spot. Maybe if I just focus. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I've definitely been here before. Shouldn't that be in a museum somewhere? I don't even know what language that is. They should really charge for tours. It's kind of amazing. Freddy, are you out there? Can you hear me? What am I doing? All that'll do is tell everyone where I am. Is this an armory, too? What did Freddy say about mazes? Was it always go left? Or go left and then go right? Is that a weapon? A musical instrument? Maybe it's both. I don't get any feeling from that. Will I know it when I see it? This is it. Calliope was here. She was standing right here. And she... Uh-oh. Hello? Do you work for Hecate? Are you guardians or something? Okay, then. What's happening? Why didn't it work?
Oh! Grace?
Freddy! We've got to run! My powers don't work on them, they just keep coming!
No, I won't let you!
that Freddy?
By the gods.
You summoned the Furies.
What?
Those beings were the Furies, beyond all our laws. Not idols, but the embodiment of retribution. How did you draw them here?
I didn't. There was a big mirror, but I didn't even touch it.
There is only one mirror of which you could be speaking. That used by the goddess Nyx to contact the Fates. Using the mirror would not have brought the Furies down upon you. Not unless the Fates themselves decreed it.
I didn't talk to any Fates. There were figures in the mirror, but they vanished when the Furies got there.
This was no defense or spell of the reliquaries. I do not have the power to summon the Furies, and I know none who do. You should consider yourself fortunate, Grace. They do not desist until retribution has been exacted. But now is when you leave. Pray the knowledge you obtained was worth the price.
Persephone, we can't just... There must be something we can do.
She made her choice, Grace.
No! It's not right!
Come. There's nothing more to be done.
Act 3? At least I can get to Act 3 in one of these games.
I'm sorry it came to this, Grace. It's clear what your friend meant to you.
Her name is Freddy. Was Freddy. She was more than just my friend.
Yes, I see that. Grace, is that how Calliope died? Was she also attacked by the Furies? Do you remember?
Yeah. She meant to use the mirror, but she never had the chance before they came.
No doubt sent by the same person. Perhaps for the same reason.
I know Calliope was there to use the mirror, but it was just feeling. I still don't understand why.
There's only one use for that mirror. To speak to the Fates.
Yeah, okay, but why?
The Fates know all that is or will be. Destiny is theirs to command. Or so it's said. One contacts them either to know one's fate, or to change it. Not that the Fates are likely to oblige.
Can these Fates really control the future?
They control the fate of all beings. I imagine it's they who give Apollo his powers, and they who write Hecate's books.
So someone really didn't want Calliope messing with them.
Or you, it seems.
Could it have been the Fates? Maybe they don't like being called on now for anything.
They're not known to be vindictive. If they don't want to answer, they simply won't.
Who could send the Furies after me? Even Hecate had no idea who possessed that kind of power.
No one does, not these days. Hecate herself would have been my guess. Zeus might have, in his role as king of old Olympus, but he is long gone.
Clearly someone can do it.
Unless they weren't summoned. They could have been responding to something you did unwittingly, something Calliope also did. And what that could be, I'm afraid I have no clue.
What are the Furies? They didn't seem like people.
Think of them as forces of nature, but an aspect mortals rarely encounter. They're older than any idol. They were created to enforce the ancient laws.
There are ancient laws now?
Well, there were. Laws even the idols had to obey, from the earliest days of old Olympus. Even if they still existed and you'd broken one, we would all know. These are not petty crimes one stumbles into.
If the Furies are so powerful, why did they stop? They just stabbed Freddy and left.
They're not assassins, Grace. They exist to punish. They demanded blood, and blood was taken. It didn't need to be yours.
So if Freddy hadn't interfered...
They wouldn't have rested, not ever, until they had their due.
I don't know what to do. We still have no idea why Calliope wanted to talk to the Fates.
Well, there is another way to ask them.
I wondered how long that would take. Hecate is enraged. She's threatened to close off the reliquary entirely and forever. Athena is beside herself.
How long have you been standing there?
Long enough. You just had to keep pushing, didn't you? Until you got what you wanted.
This isn't about me. We're out of options, Apollo, and you know there's only one other way to contact the Fates.
Oh, how convenient.
Wait, what's this about some other way? What are you talking about, Persephone?
May I explain it to Grace, or do you have another option, Apollo? If so, now's the time. I thought not. The Fates will respond to the ruler of Hades, the true underworld and realm of the dead. What I propose is that we go there and take back the throne that was stripped from me.
How do we get to Hades? Do we need a key, like the reliquary?
Athena took my key, and the entrance at Lake Avernus was sealed long ago, which leaves only Hermes.
They won't take you.
They might, if you ask them to. Then why did you come, Apollo? To gloat? To wish Grace well? Or to actually help? Get us there. I'll lead us to the throne, and Grace can speak with the Fates. It's simple.
Is that something we can do? Just go to the land of the dead and, overthrow it?
Truth be told, there isn't much to overthrow. Few mortals still believe in Hades, and thus its halls have been nearly empty for eons.
So how do you...
The throne itself is the key, both symbolically and literally. Claim it, and Hades is yours.
But you can't claim it because you're barred from Hades.
By a rule that we would need to break were we to do this, yes.
So if we go to Hades and, find your throne, how much trouble would that get us into, exactly?
A great deal.
It's not as if Athena could execute Grace a second time.
But she's already been warned about breaking more rules.
The responsibility of this will be mine. Let Athena try to take my throne again.
Is there really no other way to talk to these Fates? Do we have to take the nuclear option?
Do you want to try going back to the reliquary?
No. No, hell no.
The only other person with a direct connection to the Fates is Apollo here.
You know it doesn't work like that.
Then it's the throne or nothing, isn't it?
Okay. No need to keep selling me on it, I'm in.
You are?
Yeah. I need to punch something really hard. Or overthrow hell. I'm good with either of those things.
Did you see that, Apollo? You see, that is what a backbone looks like.
I can't. I'm sorry, but this is a step too far.
And consider this, Apollo. Grace's mortal friend was slain by the Furies. According to the old laws.
Her soul is in Hades.
Hold on, wait. What does that mean? If her soul is in Hades, then...
It means the ruler of Hades can release her.
That's assuming everything remained as it was. Fine. I'll get you into Hades. But I'm not going with you.
If that's what you prefer, by all means.
Let's find Hermes and get this over with.
Swimming at each other's throats.
Shall I wait here, or...?
No. I'm not gonna lie to them. Hermes has always treated me fairly.
Oh, hey, if it isn't Apollo and Grace, and, Persephone. Wow, the whole gang, huh?
I'm afraid I have to call in that favor. I need you to take Grace and Persephone to Hades.
Oh, man, I don't know. Athena specifically said I wasn't supposed to take anyone, you know? No matter what.
Oh, this is pointless. They're never gonna help us, Apollo.
Can I ask what's going on? Nobody ever tells me anything, and you want me to get in huge trouble, but for what?
Come on, Hermes. How much trouble would you be in, really? What's Athena gonna do? Leave Olympus? Get her own dry cleaning? She needs you more than you need her.
Yeah, but Athena works so hard, and it's always for everyone else.
Sounds like someone else I know. Isn't there anything that you want, Hermes?
Oh. What I want is the truth.
Here's the truth. The favor's for me. If I don't go to Hades now, I'll never find out who killed Calliope.
And then Grace will be executed.
Okay.
Well, that was easy.
Signal when you need to come back.
You sure?
Yeah, feels like the right thing.
Be careful, Grace. And remember, the underworld doesn't give up its shades without a price.
I think I can tell her the rules, Apollo. Let's go. Welcome to the real underworld.
Wow. It feels so empty. So lonely.
It's not completely empty. Neither is the throne, for that matter. A bitter shade named Orpheus has been squatting on it since my exile. I fully expect he'll be waiting for us.
Who is this Orpheus? The name sounds familiar.
It should. His is a popular tale among mortals regarding how he once came to the underworld to retrieve his love, Eurydice, and left with nothing. Hades tricked him, you see, and with Hades dead, the blame has evidently fallen to me.
So he's not a fan of yours?
He is not a fan, no. Not that it matters.
You didn't think to mention earlier that the throne was occupied?
Because it's irrelevant. Orpheus isn't an idol. He's just an angry little man clinging to an existence that doesn't want him any longer.
And what are we supposed to do? Organize an armed resistance? Challenge him to a duel?
That's what you're here for.
I'm gonna fight him?
Oh, you'll see.
So there's gonna be a fight? Good. I need something to punch.
Don't get too excited, Grace. Orpheus is hardly a worthy foe.
Really? Even though he took your throne?
He took an empty throne after I left. That does not make him a king. Just someone else that's in my way.
In our way, you mean?
Yes, in our way.
Okay, so there's an angry ghost sitting on your throne. Anything else about this trip you've neglected to mention?
Come, it's time to cross the Styx. The ferryman will come soon. As we are not dead, you will need to convince him you are worthy of passage. State your case clearly and with determination. I am Persephone, also known as Despoina and Kore Sotiera, once queen of the underworld, and shall be again. No, Corone, I did not bring you any cards. I am not here to entertain you.
Hey there! I'm Grace, idol and last of the muses. Is that enough?
Of course she's a muse. Why would she lie about such a thing? He says he's always liked the muses, and that you're very pretty. No, she didn't. Neither of us brought games to play with you, Corone. Stop asking.
Oh, I'm sure we can come up with something to amuse him. See? You don't even need to interpret that for me.
Yes, what fun. Thank you for encouraging him. Let's get underway, Corone. It's a long ride to the throne room.
I wouldn't touch that. Way too much for you. Overload you. Blow a fuse. Every story, every memory winds up here in the water. I used to dream that this river would rise, swallow the anger, tears in my eyes. Then suddenly I was found alone. I destroyed Hades, but was denied his throne.
Is fading away. She needs her queen.
We're here for Freddy, too.
I killed the king fair and square. They had no right to take it from me. A child in a garden, a prize for a king, property, bound and gagged with silver
silver and satin. I gutted a god. This hell is mine. I won't let it be forgotten.
Someone's coming. There's music floating through. Someone's coming. And it has me singing too. We have visitors. I think we all know what to do. To the throne room. This bard's about to meet a muse.
There's someone singing with us.
That would be Orpheus.
Is he a muse?
Oh, he's so much more than that.
Someone's
I didn't belong here.
A wolf is waiting in the
But that throne belongs to me.
Coming.
No one deserves it.
I can feel them howling at the moon.
Don't forget why we came here.
There's a name here
I won't forget.
that reeks
But you
of
can
an
bet he
enemy.
knows someone's coming.
It's about time, Persephone.
Orpheus, I've been.
What happened to the music?
I have been waiting for you, Persephone, for so long. And you brought a muse. Hi. Lovely tune, by the way. Can't remember the last time I collaborated with someone so talented. No offense, Betty. Welcome to my underworld. Let me treat you to a song, a welcome gift. I have the floor. It is mine, after all. Muse. Any requests? Questions?
What's your problem with Persephone?
Do, 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 loop it. Do, do, do. I didn't do what I was told, didn't know that it was all a game. I didn't think that he would do it. Then Eurydice was gone. And Persephone stood right beside him and said, what a shame. He was always gonna kill her and you knew it. And I never got to have my revenge. My pain never ends. I see you now. Persephone won't turn my back. Won't turn my back. Turn my back on you again.
I beg your pardon. I wanna behave properly. It's not your song. You better stay open. She's a friend and a god.
Throne is for me. I won't let it be forgotten.
Persephone, your part in this will never be forgotten.
Corpses in crowns, tangled and trapped. Eyes full of cobwebs, only looking back. Don't you see what I see? Looks all dead to me, are both the same.
The same?
I like what you're doing, Muse, but I thought you'd be on my side.
The bard is to blame for the hell that he's been in.
Persephone, you're the reason I'm here. I'm not here to give in.
Oh, you think I will?
Can I get this through both of your heads? You're fighting over something that's dead. I mean, you should have seen this coming.
There's no point in reasoning with him, Grace.
Oh, I believe she was speaking to us both.
I certainly wish I'd seen you coming.
We made a bargain. Now I doubt
I told you we're here for Freddy. We're wasting our time.
Child cannot see.
We can't let it be.
Forgotten. Forgotten.
You didn't do what you were told, but you won't face the fact that you're to blame. And Persephone, you blew it. You must understand each other by now. All of this is getting kinda old. What a shame. There's the door, walk through it.
But I never got to have my revenge.
Our pain never ends.
Our pain never ends.
Orpheus, I promise you now, belatedly, I won't turn my back. I won't turn my back on you again.
We have been fools.
You're right. Yet, what about the throne? We can't just leave it empty, can we?
Of course not. This hell is mine.
You dare. All this talk of being trapped by the past, and it was just a smokescreen so you could take the throne? You?
I don't care about ruling Hades, but someone has to sit here to contact the Fates, right?
And for that, you needed to usurp my rightful place? Oh, don't make me laugh.
I honestly don't care what you think. I'm gonna finish what we came here to do.
You think that taking the throne will help you? Go on then. Please, show me your power, oh great queen of Hades.
Okay. Fates. Here I am, the Queen of Hades. Let's talk, okay? This is Grace, last of the Muses, summoning the Fates.
Problems?
Is there some trick to it? Or are you not gonna tell me now?
I'll let you in on a little secret, Grace. There is no contacting the Fates. There never was.
And Freddy?
If the throne alone could bring someone back from the dead, surely even Orpheus would have figured it out.
I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, you're you. And I believed what I wanted to believe.
And neither of us will get what we want today.
As opposed to your original plan, where that would have only been me.
At the very least, I had hoped we might find your friend's spirit.
Why? We can't bring her back.
Not without great sacrifice, no. No, the rules of death are clear. Yet, you might have spoken to her. I know what it's like not to get the chance to say goodbye.
Hey.
Freddy, you're here.
Yeah, I've actually been watching you since you arrived. It's not like there's much else going on.
Fred,
No, don't even start, Grace. I made my decision. I don't regret it one bit.
Was she always taller than I was?
You shouldn't even have been there. I never should have gotten you involved.
Hey, no. You didn't get me involved. I got myself involved.
And look what happened.
I got to be the hero of the story. Just for one shining moment. How cool is that?
This isn't a story, Fred.
Huh? You're wrong. It is a story. And you need to finish it. Without me. Hey, no.
I guess this is it, huh?
Almost. I found someone while I was down here. Someone you really need to meet.
Calliope? This... You can't be real. Your soul is inside Grace.
My Eidolon is inside Grace. The rest of me... I'm here, Persephone.
This is real.
I guess you two were better acquainted than you said. Huh, Persephone?
We parted ways years ago. Persephone couldn't take my lectures any longer.
I'd take them now. I miss them.
No, you don't. Think about how bitterly we argued at the end. Don't blame yourself. Not when there are so many fond memories to cherish instead.
I don't get it. I thought the Eidolon was Calliope's soul. But if that's true, then...
The Eidolon is what makes us an idol, but it's not our soul. Each of us adds a piece to it as it passes on.
But what about the memories?
The memories are but a reflection. And after the Eidolon is passed on, old memories become a reflection of a reflection. It's why the idols have forgotten so much. You knew this truth once, Persephone. Long ago.
We need to know what happened to you, Calliope. How did you die?
Why didn't you come to me? If you were in trouble, I would have protected you.
I know you would have. But I couldn't let you be drawn into Apollo's prophecy as well.
Apollo's prophecy?
He didn't tell you? No. I don't suppose he could have. It's a long story.
Start with Apollo. How is he involved in all this?
Apollo delivered, with great reluctance, a prophecy that said I needed to die.
And who did he deliver this prophecy to?
Athena.
No.
Then she sent the Furies after me when I went to the reliquary. I barely escaped. I fled back to the mortal world. To you.
Why did you go to the reliquary? We know about the mirror, but...
You wanted to annul the prophecy.
And the Fates are the only ones who could, if they would even help me. I doubted it, but I was desperate. I never got the chance to ask. Someone told Athena where I was going, and she must have realized what I meant to do.
But how did she get the Furies to attack you? They aren't pets. You didn't break any of the old laws.
I don't know. Maybe it's something the ruler of the idols can do. But you'd have to ask Athena.
You went to Pan for the key to the reliquary, right?
Yes. He's the reason I knew about Nyx's mirror, actually. He told me about it long ago.
He told Medusa where you went. She, I expect, told Athena.
Oh. Pan couldn't have known what it would mean. I didn't explain.
That's it. You forgive him, just like that.
I'm sure he feels guilty enough, my love.
Apollo hates using his power. Why would he have given a prophecy to Athena?
Because she demanded it. She was desperate.
How did you even find out?
Apollo was horrified after he delivered the prophecy, and he refused to stay silent. And he came to warn me. He was torn. Telling me meant I was locked into it. I still think he did the right thing. Though I expect he disagrees.
What was the prophecy? Surely I need to hear it.
If I tell you, you'll be locked into it, just like me.
But the prophecy doesn't just say you have to die. There's more to it, right? They always require interpretation.
Apollo told Athena that. He begged her not to jump to conclusions, but maybe she was right.
It doesn't just involve you, does it? It involves me. It must, or you wouldn't hesitate.
Athena wanted to know if there was a way to save the idols. The answer was this. The idols cannot continue so long as the last muse lives.
And I'm the last muse.
And now you know the prophecy.
Why come to me? Of all the places you could have run to, why come to my apartment?
Because I was dying.
But I couldn't save you. I barely even knew you.
I was wandering the streets that night, wondering if I should go to the reliquary or just flee. And I heard you singing. I followed you home after to see where you lived. I didn't know what would happen to me, but I thought, just in case, I knew I had to hold out until I reached you.
You dragged me into this mess on purpose? You know they've put me on trial, right?
Athena would have found an excuse no matter what.
That's not the point. I didn't want your life.
Grace, she's already dead.
Yes, so are you, Freddy. And it's her fault.
I am so sorry, Grace. I truly did not mean for it to be like this.
Athena's gonna pay for this. She will pay.
She wanted to save the idols. And I wanted that too.
You weren't about to kill anyone to get it. I have to go back. And I have no idea what will happen. None of this seems real.
So many years of history, the fights, the highs, the miseries. I'm so proud of you, but it's time to go. I never truly saw before how trapped we were. So far from shore, great at the time, but it's time to go. It's time to go. How can I let go now? I won't. It's just not fair. We took our first steps together. Now you'd have me walk alone.
You were always there for me, from heartbreak and through injury. We'd do it again, but now it's time to go. It's time to...
If I could bring you back, I would give it all to you, my best friend. If I could choose a muse,
You would give up godhood to bring her back.
any day, every day, a life for a life, Farishta, please stay.
Grace, no. It's time.
Who knows what comes next? But I will face it beside you.
You've returned.
You did it. You actually brought me back from the dead.
Of course I did.
Did you get a chance to speak to the Fates?
No.
Then what happened?
I'm no longer an idol. Freddie is the muse now. That was the only way to bring her back.
Then you're not the last muse.
And you know why that was a problem, don't you? That's right. We learned about the prophecy, as well as all your lies. You knew. You knew the truth this entire time, even when you said you were helping Grace.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Is there more you haven't told me? Did you know about the Furies as well?
No. I didn't know how Calliope died.
But you knew Athena was behind it.
I thought I could nudge you in the right direction. Help you find the truth without learning about the prophecy.
Well, you failed. We know it now.
Well, then it's done. You're locked into it, as is Freddie. Athena will want her dead, too.
You're right. I actually hadn't considered that part.
I'm so sorry, Grace. I never meant for this to happen.
That's right. Leave. It's what you're best at. I don't know how this will affect your trial. We could tell them what we've learned. Even without proof, it makes enough sense that Athena couldn't just brush it off. You're not the last muse any longer. After all, your Freddy isn't on trial. Yet if Athena believes you both need to die in order to save the idols, she'll find a way.
Then I'll just have to stop her, won't I?
Brave words for a mortal.
If I've learned anything, it's that idols aren't all powerful. Plus, I'll have help, right?
I lied to you, used you, and you still want my help?
I'd say you owe me.
I intend to keep my promise. We go to the trial and I'll help you, even if it means overthrowing Athena. Calliope would approve.
But what about...
Just so you understand, our chances aren't good. I suggest you do whatever necessary to prepare.
Great. Freddy, can we talk? Freddy, please. Whatever I did, I need to make it right. Talk to me. Hey. Freddy, are you okay?
No. No, I'm really not. Why did you do it, Grace? You brought me back. You made me the muse.
You'll be so much better at being the muse. You know all about Greek mythology. And music is your life.
I don't care if I'm good at it or not. Grace, I told you that I was at peace with my decision. I've watched the struggles you've had as the muse, and now you've thrown them all on me. You didn't even ask.
You don't wish you were still dead, do you? Did I screw up?
I don't know.
I should have asked you first. I'm really sorry. It just kind of happened.
It's not that. It's not just that. I came back from the dead. And I was actually dead. And I'm not the same now. I've changed. And it's not just being the muse. I'm different, and so are you, and nothing between us can ever be the same again.
Of course it'll be the same. Why wouldn't it?
Grace, I sacrificed myself because I love you. I'm in love with you. And I have been for a really long time.
Is that bad?
Well, it's not the greatest. Pining after your best friend, trying to never let it show.
Yeah, I guess that's
I'm not trying to
true.
romance you this time.
That's why I started the band. Because we'd been growing apart, and it was the only way I could think of to keep us together. You don't have to say anything. I probably shouldn't have said anything.
Why tell me now? All those years of keeping it to yourself.
Because I thought it was enough. Better to be your friend than to be... nothing.
How could you ever be nothing to me?
What's gonna happen at the trial? Athena doesn't know I've become the last muse. When she learns that, she's gonna want to kill me too, isn't she?
No, there's no point in asking that because it's not gonna happen.
But how will we...
Freddie, stop. Look at me. It's not happening, okay? We're going to the trial. We're going to confront her, and we have half the idols backing us up. She won't get away with this. Let's get through tomorrow, okay? The rest of it, we'll figure it out afterwards. Together.
Okay.
Oh, it's you. Paul comes in, mopier than his usual mopey self, and won't say a word about why. But of course, it's you.
That bad, huh? I'm not surprised. He left my place pretty upset.
You know, I knew it when I saw you. That girl's gonna be trouble. But does he listen? No. Look, I'm not stupid. I don't buy into this God crap, but I know Paul and the rest of you are not on the right side of normal. Even so, Paul is a good guy. Leave him alone. He doesn't want to talk to you.
It's all right, Oracle. I think Grace and I need a moment alone, if you please.
Oh, sure. Don't mind me. It's not like I was in the middle of anything.
I know how Persephone feels. But not you. You'd have every right to be furious with me.
I'm not. I was surprised, sure. But I get why you did it. I think.
I wanted you to find out about Athena without learning the prophecy. To be honest, I was relieved when you chose Persephone, even though I was worried she might lead you astray. When I first became Apollo, I was so sure I could help people. Help the world. I ignored the warnings. You have no idea how many lives I ruined before I stopped. I never should have given in to Athena. This one time, I thought that maybe it will be different.
Well, couldn't it be? You said yourself, prophecies don't always work the way you think they will.
That's true. I did say that. I hope you can forgive me, Grace.
I hope that one day we'll be as close friends as you were with Calliope.
I guess all that remains is the trial. Whatever happens, Grace, I'll be standing right there by you.
Thank you.
Hopefully I don't die. Cause it's not looking good so far.
Pan? Are you here? can. All right, then. Guess I'll just head off.
I thought you didn't want to see me anymore. You're not here to yell at me, are you?
Is that a problem? Is the mighty Pan too sensitive to withstand a little yelling?
It's less the mighty Pan and more the naughty Pan. Perhaps even the delightful Pan?
Bah! That's right! Bah!
Ah, you've learned something. Something not altogether pleasant, I'm guessing. Tell you what, Grace. Let's indulge in one last transaction. Relay what you've learned, and I'll see if I have any advice to offer.
Okay, where do I begin?
Well, of course it was Athena.
Wait, you knew?
No, how could I?
So what now?
Let the prophecy play out.
Huh?
Let it play out. It doesn't say the last muse will die, just that she must for the idols to continue. Perhaps the idols shouldn't continue. Seems reasonable enough.
I doubt Athena would agree, or many of the other idols for that matter.
Yes, well, if history says anything about the idols, it's that we're a bunch of reactionaries who make poor decisions. Frankly, change is long overdue. Continuing on as we have been isn't appealing, and I doubt I'm the only one who thinks so. I'm rather looking forward to the trial now. How exciting.
How's this gonna work if I don't have the powers anymore?
Did you forget something, Grace?
It felt like we hadn't quite finished our conversation.
It seemed pretty finished to me. What more is there to discuss?
How about us?
You took my throne for yourself. That about wraps up us, wouldn't you say?
Is that all I was then? That's all I ever meant to you? A means to an end?
You betrayed me.
You betrayed me first!
Annoyingly, you're right. But I'm the one I should be angry at. I drove Calliope away. I wasted all that time being stubborn. And now she's gone.
I'm not Calliope. There's a part of her inside me,
Not
sure,
anymore.
but we're not the same person.
I didn't say you were.
But you think it, don't you? Somewhere in the back of your mind.
I don't know if I can do this. Us.
Why? Because of the throne? Does it still mean that much to you?
I keep wondering, do I like you because of you? Or because Calliope is a part of you? As you gain her memories, will you become more and more like
I'm not
her?
her
Will you think
anymore.
of me as she did? You deserve more than that, Grace. I wouldn't blame you if you wanted no part of it.
And what if I still want this? Us? What then?
I'd say you were a glutton for punishment. Do you regret it? Surrendering your Eidolon?
Giving it up was the hardest thing in the world. But this was too important, no matter how difficult.
I wonder if I could have done as much for anyone. You do realize you may have brought your friend back, only to doom her to a quick death.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You gave her your new
Fucked
life,
up when you say it like
and
that.
you get to walk away as if nothing ever happened.
Only if we survive. And I would never walk away from a friend.
How does this work? I have powers anymore. Right?
So this is it. You're back where you started, with nothing to show for it. Tomorrow we head to the trial. And who knows what'll happen?
Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, not a breeze. I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen. All my life I have been carried through. At the mercy of tides I lay unproved. But now I stand oar in hand, hoping my choices won't sink me. What can I do? If I'm a boat lost at sea, can I build sails, find a breeze, own my own destiny?
Okay, here we go. Hello?
Oh, Grace, there you are. Everyone is already waiting for you on Olympus.
Care to explain how this is supposed to work? I don't exactly have an itinerary.
How this works is, you follow us. Welcome to Old Olympus, dear.
Is this a real place?
It's the memory of a real place, which for us is the same thing. Let's begin, shall we? Brothers, sisters, everyone, look around you. We few who remain fled to this new land to escape the war, but we are not out of danger. I waited to tell you until I was certain, and now I am. The idols are dying. It will not be long before even our immortality deserts us. The time for extreme measures has arrived.
Extreme measures, such as murder. Would you sacrifice idols to save them, Athena? Seems counterproductive, doesn't it?
It is not unknown for a physician to cut off a limb in order to save the patient.
Oh, that's what you are? The heroic doctor, out to heal the poor, sick idols?
I am trying to save us! I will do anything and everything in my power and beyond to save us from extinction.
Anything, huh?
And who might you be, my dear?
Go on, tell her.
Okay. Hi, everyone! Hi! For those of you who haven't met me, I'm Freddie. Just came back from the dead. And I'm the new muse.
That's impossible. Do you think us fools? Grace is standing right here, alive and well.
Yeah, you see, Grace gave up her eidolon to bring me back from Hades. Seems that's a thing you can do. Don't suppose that changes your plans for the trial at all, does it?
The eidolon was not Grace's to pass on, so I'm afraid you'll have to share her fate, Freddie.
What you really mean is that she has to die because she's the last muse. And there can't be a last muse, can there?
I don't know what you're talking about, dear.
That is such a lie.
Tell them about the prophecy Apollo gave you, and how you've interpreted it. The idols cannot continue so long as the last muse lives. Isn't that how it goes?
It's true.
If there's any threat to the survival of the idols, Athena, it's you. I'm willing to bet this isn't about the prophecy. No, really. This is about you staying in control.
How dare you!
How dare me? Who murdered Calliope? Who tried to murder me? Why keep it all a secret? Tell them. Yes, it's me.
It's me. Of course, it's me. The one who gets it done. Don't you see? It had to be. You all turn away when I got the fish. Then you cry, hooray, once it's on the dish. That's how we do this. Yes, we. Yes, you and me. I have always cared for you. I'll always do all these things for you. All these things that you are not prepared to do.
You say you care, Athena, look around. The way you care grinds these idols down. From up above, you played your puppet show. You called it love. Athena, did you know you're turning them to gold?
Sorry, little bird, time to bring your necks.
Little girls, they dream up a future. They're sure how they feel, sure their vision's true. I fought for that throne and then didn't take it. And that was okay. Could it be for you too?
Of course you would make it all about you.
Still, Athena, I'm glad you were here to see how someone grew.
None of you see. So it's down to me. It's fine. I'll take all the blame. I'll take all the pain. Think you see it all? You just see a scrap. You wanna make the call. You need to hold the map. You cloistered children. It's time for you and all who stand with you. Yes, you too. Form a queue. Time to follow through.
This lost little girl, she's got a few tricks now. She's taken some punches, she's made some friends.
Here's 3 more little friends. Meet the Fury.
Yeah, we've met. Nice to see you.
Oh, that's a brave face. We all know how this ends.
Such cute pets, I'll take the
We
set.
all know how this ends.
I didn't know how lost I was until you found me.
I was so low, I nearly withdrew. Now I'm here because she inspired me.
Grace, I love you. Oh, well, not in that way. I just meant to say you're great, Grace, and I'm with you. Or I'm not with you. I'm just you know what I mean.
Of course, it's me,
Because of me, this prophecy would come to be. My Olympus is gone, and you're all looking on at a stranger wearing my face. My Olympus is gone. Now I'm some other one. Just how long has she been in place? You can talk about your journey, honey, I don't care. The only thing that matters is you put yourself there. There was a voice in me that shouted, Athena, you be strong. Be strong. No cost is great enough. It was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong, and now I don't know what the right thing is. I leave it up to you what to do with this.
Yeah.
That's for me. And this, Calliope. Now we're done. Say bye to everyone. You're off to take a new exciting role in some dark hole. There you go. Now it's yours to drive. Let's see how long you stay alive.
Bitch, snap. Get lost, ho.
Are you finished? You've been talking forever.
We're done, yes.
And? So you're in charge now, I'm guessing.
If I can't have my throne, I suppose this will do for now. But I won't be sitting here for long.
What does that mean?
It means we are disbanding the chorus.
Whoa.
Not only that, we have decided to reveal ourselves to the mortal world.
Just announce to everyone that gods are real? That might not go over very well.
It won't be right away, so those who are too fearful can go into hiding. But it's time. No more laws, no more secrets.
What about Athena? Is she gonna stay gone, or...?
As far as we can tell, yes.
Her things were already gone when we returned to Olympus. She didn't even ask Hermes for transportation elsewhere.
Good riddance.
If she did return, I wouldn't worry. Athena can never be to us what she was before. That's over.
You all agreed to this? No argument?
Oh, we don't do anything without argument, dearest.
Wasn't it you, Grace, who said we should stop living in the past?
Well, sure, but I didn't think you were listening.
What can I say? I'm trying something different. Plus, this is what Calliope was fighting for.
Calliope would definitely approve.
If there's no chorus, does that mean idols just do whatever they want?
As much as anyone can.
And Medusa? She's off the leash, as it were?
Medusa has offered to live in the reliquary. Frankly, I think she's relieved.
As for the rest of us, we'll be subject to mortal authorities and their laws.
These authorities. Do you think we could ask them about Hephaestus?
Yes. Yes, I imagine we could.
I have a few thoughts as to how you could go about revealing yourselves.
Oh?
If there's time, we could prepare a campaign.
Something online, maybe.
The idols would be stars before you know it. If you're famous enough, there's only so much that can be done to you.
Now that is a marvelous idea indeed.
Is this secretly the
I'd like a
plan of
moment
this video
alone
game?
with Grace.
Next thing you know, it's gonna be gods popping up.
Well, you did it, Grace. The trial has come and gone, and you're still standing.
Was there ever any doubt?
Is that a serious question?
Okay, maybe there was a little doubt. How about that last song, though?
I can't say I ever imagined Athena would be defeated by a peppy musical number.
Why not? Worked on you, didn't it?
When we last spoke, you told me you wanted things to continue between us. Now that things are finally resolved, I understand if you feel differently.
I got here through blood, sweat, and tears. Nah.
When we met, you said you'd help me. To a point.
I did.
And then at the trial, you stood by me. Even when Athena said she'd kill anyone beside me.
I wasn't gonna lose you too, whatever it took.
Then I can safely say, I don't feel any differently.
Ready to go out and face the music, Grace?
Always. Of course you're all here. Why wouldn't you be?
We were waiting for you.
They just showed up. I didn't think you'd mind too much.
How does it feel to be the idol spokesperson appearing on every newscast, reputable and otherwise?
I'm exhausted.
The Oracle has been keenly following your progress. She records every appearance, every interview. She may be your biggest fan.
The way she talks, you'd think she never doubted who you were.
Well, at least she's been of great help to your online campaign.
A lot's been going on here, too. You want to hear the gauze?
Has anyone heard about Athena? It's been a while.
I was having her followed for a time. After the idols went public, however, she vanished off the map completely.
You had Athena followed?
Well, you're far more trusting than I, brother. We can't count on Athena laying low forever now that the song is over. Last I heard, she was heading back to the old country, on a ship like it was the 19th century. Why? I have no idea.
Could she have gone looking for one of the lost idols? Like Zeus, maybe?
Whoa. Could he even be found?
If Zeus is out there, Athena will find him. If she does, I guarantee we haven't seen the last of her.
Is there any word yet on Aphrodite and Eros? They left the city a while ago.
Eros sent word, yes. Aphrodite has started a spiritual retreat in the mountains?
Let's call it a cult.
Whatever it is, he says it's been helping her. Being the goddess of love to the world once more has at last brought her peace.
Isn't she at all concerned about, being captured by mortals again?
Hence why she surrounded herself with only those who shower her with adoration.
As I recall, sister, you also headed several cults across the centuries.
The Eleusinian mysteries weren't about shoring up my ego, Apollo.
What about Venus? Did she go with him?
The mortal? I don't believe so. Last I heard, she opened a gallery. Aphrodite's become her patron.
Venus has painted most of the idols. I sat for her last week, in fact. It's made her rather successful.
What about Hecate and Asterion? Are they still at the reliquary?
Hecate leave the reliquary? I'd sooner believe the sun would go out.
Oh, you should see them, Grace. They are so cute. Asterion dotes on Kate day and night. He even wrote his own song to serenade her.
Did you just call her Kate?
Am I doing it now? I am, aren't I? I've been around them a lot.
You are turning into quite the fixture there, Freddie. Hecate talks about you as if you were her apprentice.
Please, I wouldn't go that far. Did you really say that?
Not in so many words, but she did mention it was time to pass on her arcane knowledge.
A sorceress muse. That'll certainly be new.
And Medusa? I take it she's no longer at the reliquary.
She was. For a few months.
There was an incident involving Hecate's new cat.
Oh no, not Sherbert.
Medusa was beside herself with apologies, but needless to say, she moved on rather quickly. We're not certain where.
You're saying Medusa is out there on the loose?
Not quite.
Medusa believed she might not be able to control her appetite, so she asked us to put her in contact with the mortal government. They took her somewhere. It was her decision. The government is grateful. They even suggested we might see Hephaestus again.
Aphrodite's husband? He's alive?
So it appears. Who knows what he's been doing for the mortals since the war, but it would raise all our spirits to see him again.
Is Hermes still around? I'm surprised they're not here with the rest of you.
We've barely seen them of late.
I see them online all the time. They're a big hit. Their videos are hilarious.
Hermes has been busy. They've become a social media darling, or so the Oracle tells me.
The truly amusing part is that they're not even trying to be famous. They simply can't help it.
Hermes likes to people please, it's true.
And they get a lot of free shoes and concert tickets.
Hopefully it won't backfire on them. Fame is a double-edged sword.
Hermes lives a charmed life. Never fear.
Well, it's odd seeing their face on so many billboards, but I agree. Let Hermes have their fun.
What about Pan? I haven't seen him since the trial.
No one's seen him.
Should we be worried? It is Pan, and what he does will reflect on us all.
He's probably off fleecing widows out of their pensions as we speak.
Pan is harmless.
Mostly harmless.
As far as I can tell, he did regret his involvement in Calliope's death. He'll lay low. At least for a time.
He'll be back with some new scheme to make us all groan.
You're not wrong.
I'd like to know what you've been up to, Persephone.
I've been thinking about selling the club, actually.
The underworld? Really?
I don't need a substitute for the real thing. That's all it ever was, and I'm fine with having neither.
Plus, she's been busy helping all the idols left at Olympus. She's become their den mother. It's really weird.
It's not weird. There may no longer be a chorus, but I'm still responsible for the idols. Also, I wanted to free up some of my time. For you, Grace.
For me?
You've been on the road single-handedly keeping the idols afloat. I thought you could use some company.
If I didn't know better, I'd say somebody misses me.
Don't be ridiculous. I'd simply like to try something new. Fine. I do miss you. A little.
What about you, Apollo? Still planning on leaving the city?
Soon, I think. All the attention on the idols is proving rather taxing.
Ooh, running away again, brother.
I suppose you could say that. Really, I just came by to see Grace and apologize one last time.
I told you don't need to keep doing that.
Yes, well, I'm glad things worked out as they did. You'll all be fine without me.
You know, one day you will learn, brother. Not today, but someday.
What about you, Freddie? How's life as the new last muse?
It's fine. I mean, I don't have to run around solving my own murder, so...
Yet. You need to get your powers under control, Freddie.
I can't help it. I've always loved the idea of people suddenly breaking out into choreographed song and dance. It just happens.
Yes, but it's happening all the time. At malls, on the street. Freddie, it even happened at a funeral.
What can I say? I have a morbid sense of humor.
The mortals will only find it amusing for so long. There have already been complaints.
No. Okay, I'll try. Being the muse is just so much fun.
I was more wondering how you felt about it. Before the trial, you...
It's okay, Grace. No, it really is. Being the muse is wonderful.
Oh,
just, took some time getting used to it.
I still can't believe it's all over.
Oh, it's scarcely over, Grace. Now that you've toppled the castle, it's barely just begun.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Come on, Grace, we both did. And it was amazing.
Perhaps we should leave you alone, Grace. You must be tired from your trip.
Perhaps a round of drinks at the underworld, in Calliope's honor.
I'd like that, actually.
Grace and I will meet you both there. We won't be long.
Sure you won't.
I have something I'd like to say.
Oh, yeah?
Moving forward often comes with heartbreak, leaving the fears you nested in. Take your broken pieces and assemble a life that you are proud to live. We do not seek absolution, you and I, you are queen of the underworld, and I was a constellation of injustice, remade myself from flesh to bone, and now that you've a crown in your dominion, I will submit to you alone. And I, Grace, together victorious. There's nothing to stop us now.
My legs! Other stuff.